Today I'm doing my most worn fragrances of October. I skipped a few months because it got really busy for me as I was traveling. Came back and couldn't get caught up, but finally I'm gonna get back on track to doing these. So these are my most worn fragrances of October 2018, and if you want to find out what they are, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time on this channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances, discovering new brands, participating in giveaways, and still haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So 7 fragrances. I had switched things up in July. I think my July most worn fragrances, I switched it up to 7 rather than 5 because, as you know, some people were accusing me of copying other reviewers or whatever, which I didn't really do on purpose. I just decided to do this because a few folks were asking me to do it. Anyway, so let's get right to it. At number 7, going to the house of the MAISON Margiela fashion house. This is Wicked Love, this one right here. Wicked Love. Have you tried this one? This is from their more expensive, I guess maybe exclusive side of their fragrances, whereas Jazz Club by the Fireplace at the Barbers is in their lower price range, about $135. These run around $200 for 100 ml. And they're unique fragrances, but Wicked Love is all about rose, lots of green, bell pepper green notes, if that makes sense. So it smells very green. It's almost smelling like, to me, a bit of green leaves thrown in with that rose. So it's very, very unique, and I really enjoy wearing this one. Not a lot of people talk about it, and I bought it several months ago, and I included it in a haul video, and I just put it away and started, you know, kind of coming back to it, because that's exactly what happened when I first bought it. I was going back to Barney's and smelling it and asking for samples, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it because it smells great. Well, anyway, now that I have it, I love wearing it. As I said, it's rose. It's very unique and not similar to the other fragrances or other rose fragrances that I have, and I like that about it. So it's Wicked Love from MAISON Margiela, one to try. That's my 7th most worn fragrance of October. Now, this next one is a fragrance from the house of A Lab on Fire, and you probably just saw a review for it, but if you didn't, please do watch it. We're doing a full bottle giveaway of it. This is What We Did in Paris is Secret. This is a really, really great tonka bean fragrance. I was wearing the old bottle in the video, I mentioned it, and I specifically requested this to be sent to me, but while I was waiting for it to be sent to me for a review, I actually ended up buying a bottle of it at Lucky Scent while I was down there, and that's how much I love this one. It's a very, very cozy, creamy, slightly fruity tonka bean fragrance created by Dominique Ropillon. It's a tonka bean fragrance, but it's not anything similar to other tonka bean fragrances that I have. It also comes off very, very powdery because there's a dominant heliotrope note in here, and heliotrope smells a bit almondy. So you've got all these gourmandy things happening, and it's very, very delicious. If you're into tonka bean fragrances, test this one out. You'll either like it or not. It's not very overly masculine leaning, so it could be a bit feminine leaning, but it's very, very delicious. Very, very cozy. My 6th most worn fragrance of October is What We Did in Paris is Secret from A Lab on Fire. At number 5, my most worn fragrance is from the house, the Australian house of MANLE, Ambre Absolutely. Now this one's here because I love a good amber, and this one, man, it's so, so good. Ambre Absolutely is probably one of their most popular releases, at least to me, because it's one of my favorite fragrances from the house. You can pick up the MANLE DNA. It kind of does have this like similarity to other MANLE fragrances, but this one's a unique fragrance on its own. It's a very, very cold amber, not necessarily overly syrupy, but very, very resinous and a bit savory because it's not overly sweet, because the syrupy ambers tend to go sweet. This one doesn't overly do it. But a truly beautiful amber fragrance, and a very, very catchy name, Amber Absolutely, because Amber Absolute is a Tom Ford release, and this one's called Amber Absolutely. So this is from the House of Forte Manlè, Amber Absolutely at number 5. And speaking of amber, we're going to another amber, and this is my 4th most worn amber fragrance, or I shouldn't say most worn amber fragrance, I should say most worn most worn fragrance of October. 4th most worn. This is ISSEY MIYAKE's Noir Ombre, L'Eau d'Issey Noir Ombre. Now this is a very, very good designer fragrance, recently featured in my top 20 designer fragrances for winter video. I should take that back, fall video. A great amber. This is so good. This is a great, great designer release, which I don't even think it really got an official release here, which is a bummer, because I think if the US audience were able to buy this like easily, they would go head over heels for this, because this is a great, great release, like a great scent. And it's a bummer that they kind of do these kind of things with these fragrances. Originally, when I first bought mine, I bought it at a duty-free in Zurich, Switzerland, and at that time I was under the impression that it was an exclusive Middle Eastern market fragrance, but I've been seeing it in other duty-free places, and maybe it's available at various countries in Europe. I don't know, but great, great release. If you don't know it, do check it out. At number 4, it's my most worn of October, Noir Ombre from ISSEY MIYAKE. At number 3, from the House of JOVOY, and this is something that I'm really starting to love in fragrances all of a sudden. Lactonic fragrances. This is Remember Me. And when I say lactonic fragrances, I'm referring to lactose, milk, milky, creamy, delicious. But this one's not only about milk, it's about spices. Cardamom is king here. This is one of the best combo of cardamom for fragrances, but it also has tea, so you've got this milky tea, spicy milky tea, just beautiful. So good, and it lasts a long time. As soon as I smell it, it gives me a comforting vibe too. It's like, wow, I love that about it. It's got this fresh spicy side, a warm spicy side, a cozy tea vibe. Man, it's so good. This is my favorite house. Absolutely one of my favorite houses. All their fragrances are top notch. Very, very unique scents. Love, complete love for this brand. So if you don't know JOVOY, Remember Me, do check it out. And Remember Me is my number 3 most worn of October. My number 2 most worn of October is Carlisle. Recently reviewed this one, and it's deserving of that. Now I had bought a bottle of this back in January of 2017, and I brought it back with me from Paris at the Paris boutique, which is where it was exclusively. I've worn that bottle over and over and just really love it. And then recently I received a bottle to review for a full-on review, and this is probably my favorite scent from this house, next to Harrod and Layton, or Layton exclusive. But I find this one to be kind of similar to Layton and Harrod somewhat here and there. Not identical or anything, just has similarities, perhaps even a combo of the two, if that makes sense. But beast mode performance, beast mode fragrance, absolute love for this one. If you don't know Parfum de Marly, if you don't know Carlisle, you gotta check it out. You're gonna love this one, really, really going to love it. Performs great. Fall, winter fragrance to the max. So this is Carlisle from Parfum de Marly at number 2 most worn of October 2018. And here we have number 1. I've been speaking a lot about this baby right here. This is Dior Homme Parfum. I'm in absolute love for this one. It is just, that's why I love wearing it a lot over and over again. There's something about it that just is like perfection to me. You've got that original Dior Homme DNA, and it's amplified, intensified. Leather is increased here, musky ambrette, and some rose, not overly, but very, very sexy. The lipsticky vibe is very, very beautiful, but perfection. I mean, designer fragrances can't get better than this. This is absolute a must-have if you love designer fragrances and you love them to be beast mode and intense. So that's why it's number 1 always on my list, and it is my most worn of October 2018. This is Dior Homme Parfum. Guys, if you don't have this, do get yourself a sample or decant, sample it in store, get yourself a bottle if you love it. It's that great of a fragrance. Anyway, that's number 1. So there you have it. My 7 most worn fragrances of October 2018. Guys, what are your thoughts about these fragrances? Do you know them? First of all, do you like them? Do you have them? Or do you hate them? Like you've sampled them and you just don't like them? Do let me know. Put a comment down. Let's get a conversation started. And also let me know what you're wearing most recently or what you wore most in October last month. So let's get a conversation started about that as well. Otherwise, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.